Okay, welcome back to the Breakfast Show. Now, important information that we have received, from the doctor, the dentist, in respect of the kind of things that you should eat, and do not drink with a straw because it focuses the sugar on particular parts of your teeth and the like. Very informative, and I believe that we are all educated on that. Now it's time to have an important discussion as well on using cases to settle political disputes. Now, we've seen that in the media, whether it's print media, whether it's, electronic media. We've heard that a lot, we are Mebodia, we are there Mebodia, and the likes. People take money to vote for a particular candidate, and according to some information, you have to swear an oath and all those things that goes into Ghanaian politics. Let me not stretch it to African politics. Let me just say Ghanaian politics is what we are hearing. So we are talking about that right now this morning with Reverend Dr. Opuni-Frimpong. He is one man that I respect a lot, and I can comfortably say that we have been friends from the first day I met you on set, and I do respect that a lot. So welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Isaac. Good.
So reintroduction, he is the General Secretary of the Ghana Christian Council, the Christian Council of Ghana. And he was also at the Ghana Wins Election 2016. Now, if you have been following GBC, you'd notice that this is, something that's actually very important, especially in respect of this election. We're advocating for a peaceful election, and we're advocating also for so much more. You need the education. You need to know the difference between rejected ballots and spoiled ballots and the like. So if you do stay tuned to your sets, you get all that information. It's about Ghana Wins Election 2016. And Reverend, I want you to tell us more about this particular, baby of GBC.
Yeah. Maybe let us first say good morning to our viewers who have allowed us to enter into their homes, their halls, and wish them well as we go through the month of May. Yes, let us again congratulate GBC for the Ghana Wings 2016 project, which, because of the uniqueness of GBC, in terms of spread and being a state broadcaster that want to be fair, non-partisan, if you get a body like GBC initiating a public campaign like Ghana Wings, it's very assuring, it's very relaxing for this country. And the issues that were raised, especially I think by the coordinator, Brother Ebenezer Ampabin, and also the acting director general, that this is GBC's effort to make significant contribution towards national cohesion. The peace we have in this country, we should not take for granted. And using GBC to facilitate the peace process, to me, it was a very wonderful idea. And Dodowa was very exciting for me.
Okay. Now, sadly, I was doing the Breakfast Show around the same time, so I couldn't make it to the place. But we can't overemphasize the importance of, educating the public, especially in respect of even how to vote. Many ballots get rejected and some get spoiled and the like. So I would agree also that this is extremely important.
You're right. Isaac, for me, three things emerged at Dodowa that I felt encouraged as a Ghanaian, as a minister. Over the years, close to elections, there's kind of fear in the atmosphere. As for that one, it's expected because almost every contest, whether it's football, Kotoko beat us yesterday, whether it's football, whether it's boxing, whether it's beauty contest, there's a level of anxiety that is expected. But over the years, the fear in our system has been a fear that post-election violence, civil war. Now, can we move from the level of still fear, but that we are not afraid Ghana will be in flames, we are going to fight, but we are afraid that if we don't educate our people, if we don't do things right, we will end up voting people who are non-performers into positions. And so we must focus our education while we are trying to avoid violence. Let us also move to a level where we need peace, not for the sake of peace, but peace that will facilitate development. Again, the fact that election must be a contest of ideas. not exchange of blows, insult, violence, curses. You see, we are exchanging ideas, contest of ideas, and that is why the various media houses must use their platforms, you know, for what we call issue-based. And we should be able to blacklist people who come on our platform only to insult, only to attack, you know, only to curse people. And let's discuss issue, because our real concern is post-election. Of course, before, during, but especially that after election, the leaders will be the leaders who will facilitate growth and development.
Be the leaders for the next 4 years.
Exactly. And then, and the third one is the issue you raise. You know, one of, I think, the political parties, the representative said something interesting, that there's this candidate who, his understanding is, I will, you know, thumbprint against people I don't like. So all the faces I don't like. So all of you get it. Now, you know, as a symbol, some of our cultural areas, what you use the tongue for, you can use the tongue to insult. And so there are people who think voting time is a nice time to insult people you don't like with your tongue. So, you know, and therefore, again, you need the media houses, especially what GBC is trying to do with Ghana Wins 2016, is to educate our people so that we don't get a situation where ballot papers that have been wasted now take third position in our elections. Wow.
Wow. Anyway, finally, in respect of elections, what's your position on certain comments that have been made that seem ethnocentric in nature or tribal in nature, and also some that seem religiously skewed, if I should say?
Yes, Isaac. Now, we are one people, but we have many cultures, many religions. Gender is an issue. We belong to different political parties. Now, we should consider that as part of our blessing. It makes our country richer. The various religions we have in this country, the various political parties, the various whatever you know, ethnicity, cultures we have, it's part of our strength. But if we don't take care, it will work against us. The way we handle religion, cultures, politics, even gender, can work against us. We must, and as we go through 2016 election, let me use your platform to all those who are watching us at the moment and those who hear us later. Please, let us vote for people on merit, not on religion, not because of their ethnicity, the language they speak. Political parties should select people for position because they qualify, because they are competent. Don't give us leaders because they are from the north, south, east, west, or they belong to religion A, B, Christian, Muslims. Please don't let us play the religious card at this stage. Don't use it. Don't use the religious card. If somebody is good, tell us this person is good. Don't tell us this person is here because he is from north, south, east, west, or is a Christian Muslim. Now, as a nation, we don't need it.
Wonderful. I couldn't have been said any better. Well, now we are going to jump straight into the issue of curses. Okay. Now, why we do claim as a country to be either Christian or Muslim, but then it seems curses dominate our tongues sometimes, unfortunately. Why is this so?
Yeah, but Isaac, let's remember, we are not only Christian Muslims in this country. There are traditional worshippers. There are even Hindus and Buddhists in this country, other religions in this country. But the fact remain, what you just said, that whether people are traditional worshippers, Hindus, Buddhists, Christian, Muslim, people are cursing. Curses are now everywhere in our public discourse. It's very shameful. You see, when you talk about violence, violence can take many forms. You can have verbal violence, verbal abuse, where you use harsh word on somebody. Of course, you can also go into violence and with arms and cutlasses and stuff like that. Then there's religious violence, where you are invoking deities or spirits, to harm, to cause pain. You see, it's the same way either I will abuse you with insult, or I will pull harmful gadgets to harm you, or I will also invoke spirits, deities, also to harm you. I'm still in the reign of violence. And curses are where you are invoking words, harmful words, evil words on somebody, hoping that there must always be a spirit behind the words. If there's no God, deity, a force, a being behind those words, then they are as empty as whatever. But then if for instance, I'm invoking words and there's a real powerful a deity or a being, a spirit behind that word. I mean typical, like say Ashanti, Akonodi or Antoa or something like that. Now when you the spirit is there and is powerful, of course, there must also be a reason. If I have not done anything against you and you go around, so and so should kill you, and that kind of, it's also empty curses. But especially, there may be misunderstanding. I mean, we are in contest, so it's possible we don't agree. But we must be civil. We must be civil, please. This country, we must be civil. We must find appropriate ways of resolving conflict, of resolving issues. There will always be misunderstanding, especially as we go through a 2016 election year, because we are in contest, and you don't expect everybody to agree with you, Isaac. Even the two of us here, if we have to share whatever, you have your position, you are coming from somewhere, you have your interest. So the mere fact that I'm a pastor doesn't mean you should accept anything. No, if you feel you have been disadvantaged, you have every right to say, I'm not happy. You see, if I wake up in the morning, I'm hungry, I must be free to say, I'm hungry, even if that would disturb your ears. I must be free to shout that I'm hungry. And you should not just tell me, why are you saying you are hungry? Don't you know I'm here? Don't you know I'm doing my best to make you happy? And so what? You see, so we can go to district assembly election. And now you hear people, if you don't vote for me, and now you see Snap and X in public, in media, on TV. People are supposed to be our leaders, to give good examples. Now, on simple misunderstanding, snaps are flowing everywhere in public. You know, and you find some politicians who are also doing inducement. They go to people, give them money. You see, during election, if you want to give gifts, so be it. But gifts must be gifts. You don't give me gifts hoping to influence my thinking, my decision with your gift. Then you went to corruption. You are into inducement. So now these politicians will come. Some of them nicely will even put their money in matches, boxes, give it to you, and you think it's free money. The next time you hear that all those who have collected candidates and so's money in a candidate say, you know, it's like there's a spirit, there's a being behind his or her money. And therefore, all those who have collected that money, if you don't vote for him or her, then the curses will stand. So and so should kill you, you should be blind, your children should be... And say, why? Now, where is competence? Where are values? Where are our ideals? You know, and so you see more of this. Of course, you find it in family level, our workplace, but when it comes into our political campaign, it's shameful. It's shameful.
Okay, the one key question that I want to ask, I mean, coming from a skeptic point of view, is does it work? Does cursing even work? Does it even work at all?
Isaac, if blessings work, curses must work. You see, if we can invoke good words, and depending on the deity behind those, you see, if I wish you well, I have good intentions about you. Parents can bless their children. Your boss can bless you. Workplace, you can work with a big man who loves you so much, who want to wish you well. And so always encouraging you, Isaac, it shall be well with you. Pastors can bless. Traditional leaders, chief, queen mothers can bless. Now, if blessings work, then curses also work.
But we agree that the key word is if, because for instance, if I say that, okay, so you'll be rich and successful, and then eventually become rich and successful, could it not just be a coincidence?
No, it's not. Of course, it can be coincidence, but if I'm praying for you, you know, if there's a deity, there's a God, you know, and I believe in this God, and I'm calling upon this God to bless you, to see you through, to bring favor on your way, you know. And that if that God is real, and that God is alive, and that God is powerful, that blessing will come upon you. At the same time, if I invoke curses, and the deity I'm invoking, by the shrine, the God, the whatever, is real, and I go to this God, and there must be a cause. You see, you've hurt me, there's misunderstanding, I'm not happy about something. But the point I'm making is, when we are not happy, let's just sit down. Dialogue must be the issue. At least let's use our courts. Let's talk to the elders in our communities. At workplace, let's talk to unions and stuff like that. You know, rather than using curses. But if there's a reason, there's a cause. If you've hurt me, you know, and sometimes so people are innocent. You gave me this tablet. That I pick it. Then the next time you say, you've picked my tablet. If you don't vote for me, you should be blind. So and so should kill you. You'll be involved in accident. Say, why? Already have chopped the money. So now that I've charged the money, and people are voting out of fear. So there are people who are not voting basing on ideas, values, but they are scared that, here, you've chopped so and so's money. If you don't vote for him or her, so and so will happen. So the point is, if there's a reason, there's a cause, and there's a real being behind it, curses can work. Of course, I'm a Christian, and there's a place that Jesus also makes intervention for us in such things.
Okay.
But
I was just about to even ask you what the Bible says about, you know, cursing in general.
That curses works, yes, and even it works from generation to generation. The same way blessings also work from generation to generation until you get invocation, interventions, you know. So curses work in the Bible. There are many people who have been cursed. Jesus even cursed some trees. And then blessings are there. But then back to the Bible in Galatians and so many other places, Jesus came to roll away our curses. You know what it means is, if even I've made mistakes, and I deserve the suffering, the curses, the worst somebody is bringing on me, I can still go to God for pardon, for forgiveness, for cleansing, for intervention, for deliverance. You know, so yes, curses work to a point, and they become as meaningless, useless. But the point I'm making, Isaac, is that curses should not be part of our means of solving problems in Ghana. Curse is another violent way of solving problems. It's the same as attacking people. Now, when we talk about violence, for many people, is only when I pull you know, gun or sword, that is why I'm violent. You can also be verbally abusive.
And we see that also a lot in our local politics.
And it's gradually becoming acceptable. Now even school children, they are talking about eraser, pen, and especially in Ashanti and such area, we are not media Joe. And when they say we are not media Joe, it's like, if you don't take, I'll curse you. Everyone's pencil. Let's be civil. Oh yes. No. Now our children are picking it. It's becoming household. We are media Joe, and now we are not media Joe. Then people are happy. It shouldn't be. We must be civil. Let us talk. Let us call other people to intervene. Let us work with our structures. Let us be non-violent in solving conflict. And curses is one way of being violent that many people are not conscious of.
Okay, so if I mean, as a young man, if I decide to get involved into active party politics, which I have seriously considered, but one thing that my parents are afraid of is that, you know, if I aspire for a parliamentary seat or the likes, I would be cursed, or I'll be, you know, people conform to a draw and all those things. How do I then still forge on to this? Is there a way that a person can protect himself or herself so that you can still aspire for a particular position and help your people and the likes?
You see, Isaac, let's get this. What the issue you have raised is slightly different from the way they are using curses in public domain You are calling for, how do I take my own security? Could be spiritual, physical,
to protect
and
myself from these cases.
Yes,
exactly.
because sometimes some people think when they are rising up, all of us, everybody will celebrate. It doesn't work all the time. There are people who always will want to see your downfall, your shame, everywhere. So you must be careful who you relate with, who you share your dreams with, and that kind of thing. They are part of personal security. The extent you go